Hey everybody, what's up? It is Bane and Danielle. We actually recorded a video before this, and it was probably about 5 minutes long, and it just didn't go anywhere. However, this video, following this, is actually, it went somewhere. Again, we're just posting this because it's kind of our way, a therapeutic way to argue, and possibly get some people to, look at it and see if they agree or disagree with one of us or both of us or neither of us. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people or 10 million people. It just doesn't matter. This is kind of for us to do. And, if people like it, then they do. Feel free to argue in the comments. Feel free to give us topics to talk about, in the comments, or just do it in the comments because I don't know how to read the freaking thing if they get a message, I guess, on YouTube. They don't have it where you have a little thing and it says 1 if you get one. So anyway, that being said, here's the video. We deleted the other video and we just put this in. The topic is about sports, and basically, I'm a Raiders fan, and I started out, we started out talking about, our sports okay in a relationship, that kind of stuff, and it just went nowhere, and I was like, open up. Well, she did. So here's the video. Enjoy. So let me ask you, why don't you like sports?
Well.
And use your big girl voice.
Well. For me, it just seems like it's a huge distraction of major things that are going on, around the world. And the events that are happening are so major, the powers that be kind of just throw you a ball, basically, and tell you, don't worry about what we're doing. You just play ball, and you just worry about what you're doing and let the adults take care of everything. And so many people are so distracted by sports that they forget to actually see what's going on around the world, that actually things that will affect them directly.
Like what, though?
Wars. There's so much happening in the Middle East right now that will directly affect us here. But nobody knows that because the whole media is covered with sports. Nobody knows that. You get little glimpses, but then they make it think, oh, you'll be okay. But when you can actually, if you took away the veil of sports, you could see what's exactly going on. And a lot of people won't do that is because they'll feel if they take that veil away and see what's going on, they'll think, well, what can I do? This is too big for me. Give me more sports backs. I can't deal with it. So that's a big problem. But the thing is that people don't understand they're individuals. And just like sports, each individual person makes the team, which makes things happen. Each individual could band together if they got the knowledge, which is power, figured out how to deal with this stuff in the Middle East and the wars and all the stuff that's going on around the world, and band together so we can all fight it together and not be distracted by the big guys throwing the little kids a ball to go play with while the big guys take care of the big boy stuff and you take care of your little boy stuff.
That being said, okay, I mean, and I understand where you're coming from with that, but baby, you're going to turn off my computer. I understand that and everything, but okay. So basically what you're saying is everybody should just ignore sports, and what are we going to do? Start rallies? Are we going to start this, start that?
We're already started. We're joining them.
We join the rallies, but what are the rallies accomplishing? All they're doing is putting videos on YouTube or their little websites to sell DVDs and books to make money for themselves.
No, not necessarily.
They're starting revolutions by making radio shows, and just like we're doing. Radio shows, DVDs, books.
Getting the word out.
Why do you have to buy that stuff if somebody wants?
You don't have to buy it. It's free on YouTube. They just tell you where to go and you go do it.
So you're saying none of these guys have books or DVDs or anything?
Some of them do, but you could weed out the bad. Weed them out.
How do we know it's bad if they're all saying the same thing?
They're not all saying the same thing. You got to take the time to listen. That's what we got our brains for, so that we can figure out right from wrong.
So you literally have to listen to what every one of them says. Just to weed out the bad ones?
The way you've figured out every little team in all the sports and all the team players and what they did and what they came from, who they used to play with, who they lost, what they gained. Just like that. It's the same concept. You gather all the knowledge, so it's power. The good knowledge and the bad knowledge. You gather it all. And you use it for your power. It's your power. Gaining power for football gets you this far. It gets you to the next DVD or the next game. gaining power for what's going on into the world gets you way, way out into the world.
Okay, so you're way out into the world. What do you do then? If a bird's flying into the wind, most of the time he's just going to go ape shit and fall until he gets out of regular wind. I mean, if you're out into the world and stuff, it's much better to be grounded. It's much better to be trust me, it's much better to be a lion than it is to be an eagle.
You join forces with people. You join things that are organizations that are.
To accomplish what?
We are the people. We are the people who make the decisions. They don't want you to think that. We, you, I, the neighbors, everybody out there, we're the ones that make the decisions, but they don't want us to know that. When we all band together, we're powerful. They're trying to divide us so they can conquer each one of us so that we don't band together, so that they can separate our minds, so that nobody bands together and pushes against them. That's what they're doing.
When 9/11 happened, I saw everybody, all walks of life, all groups, all ethnicities, every type of rich, poor, whatever. Everybody was holding up an American flag. They were proud to be. You think that if something big happens, that all these people cannot come together and, stay together? I mean, football fans, baseball, whatever, no sports fans, whatever. Everybody can come together for a cause, and everybody would come together in America for a cause. Who, in your opinion, do you think is trying to divide and conquer us? Who? Who could possibly be doing that? And for what reasons?
The powers that be.
Who are the powers that be?
The
Obama?
huge the big corporations that rule the world.
Like Coke, Walmart, that kind of stuff? You think they have that much power? NFL? You think they have that much power to divide and conquer us?
They've done it. They've done it. Look at you and me when it comes to this. They've divided us. We're divided in this.
Right, but okay, we're divided in this, okay, and a few other things, but I'll still hug you and kiss you every night.
Right, but ultimately, that is ultimately.
Right,
but ultimately this kind of stuff destroys. And it has. It's been a huge factor in our lives. Not because I don't want you to watch it, but it's because the time and the energy and the effort put into it, when so much time and energy and effort and life could be put into things that actually have substance and matter and have a positive effect.
Well, I'm going to go with what you said earlier, which was, I'm one person, what can I do? I'd just much rather watch football and be entertained and excited, sad, and drop my emotions through that. I mean, you're absolutely right. I will give you credit right there. You are absolutely right. That is I don't want to worry about all that shit. I don't want to worry about any of that.
So when they're knocking at your door, coming to take you away, you're going to be like, what? What happened?
They're not going to. I am 20.
Really?
I am 34 years old. I'm 24. I am 34 years old. They are not. It's not going to happen in this lifetime.
It's not.
And
you know that for sure. How do you know that?
I don't know that.
Because you're not watching. Because you're watching a ball being thrown and guys getting paid billions of dollars or millions for a ball being thrown and making it to a certain spot and everybody cheering. So you don't know what's going on.
You think people don't do both?
What?
You think people don't watch sports and
know what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Jesse Ventura, he loves sports.
And that's great because he knows how to balance it out. The average Joe doesn't know how to balance it out. They have no idea to separate their entertainment from reality. Once you start understanding and realizing what's going on, it's like this, you get this unbelievable hunger and desire to seek out truth. And once you find out that you've been lied to,
how do you know those people telling you the truth aren't lying to you? How do you know
that you've been lied to by the media? You're going to be pissed, and it's going to piss you off in a very good way, where you're going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to be a fool. I'm not going to be a slave to the media and to.
I don't watch the news. I watch the news in the mornings to get traffic and weather.
Media has to do with all the sports and everything that has to do with that. Sports, TV shows, fashion, all that stuff. That's all the media stuff. Once you actually understand that you've been lied to, You can never, ever be lied to again. Ever.
I know I've been lied to about certain. I know that. I'm not that dumb. I'm not that naive. I
I'm talking
know.
about everybody in general, though.
You said you.
Well, we're talking about you.
Well, you're looking at me
as
saying
the
you.
people who don't know how to look past the veil of sports. I'm talking about. We're just obsessed over that and have no balance. That's what we're talking about. I think.
As far, I mean, okay. Sports isn't exactly like. I mean, I could see your argument, and I absolutely respect that argument, but everything is so, like, what am I trying to say here? Everything is basically such a cluster of things, like sports. There's 32 teams in football. They're from different cities. They're doing all this different stuff. I understand you have to pay attention to all that and get all that and everything. Same thing with what you're talking about. There's so many different things from different territories that you have to pay attention to. How do you know which one's right? I mean, for me, I know which one's right, and I could see an argument that you're going to make, because I know you're going to make this argument that, you know, I picked a team out of those 32 teams. I picked a team, and I start with them because I feel that that's right. Just like you pick somebody who you feel is right, and you follow them. Like, I know why I've loved the Raiders since '87 when I was 6 years old. I know why. Why do you like this person, or what did they tell you that makes you think that? What to you is truth as far as that goes?
Well, I would say there's not one particular person that I listen to. I listen to lots of sources, which are alternative sources, which is non-media sources. Usually you have to seek out the truth. You have to dig for it.
What makes them credible to you, though?
Well, it's not that it's credible or not. It's that based on events that are around. It depends on what you're talking about. I mean, you're thinking of it as a team thing. It's not a team. It's not a team. It's not. I mean, some people have made it like that, maybe, but it's not a team for me. It's my knowing in my heart. I have intuition, and I follow my intuition, and I know what's right based on my spirit inside of me talking to me and leading me. I turn inward actually instead of outward. I gather information, but to actually get my truth, I look inward.
So the parallels I'm seeing here, and this is, I mean, I understand what you said, but the parallels I'm seeing here are basically like in football, every team has its fans. I'm part of Raiders fans. I'm Raider Nation. Okay. I feel that I have every other Raiders fan that's like, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree. It's my family. It's my family. So, like, with you, and what you're saying is you want to join these organizations so that you can say, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. We're family. Those are the parallels that these are doing. Which one is right? I mean, I understand sports is sports, and this is, to you and to these people, real. Like, this is
what's really going on.
If it is, we don't know that. There's no proof. I could post a video right now on YouTube saying that this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and I'll get 1 million views, and people are going, oh my god, I never thought of that. I'm smart enough to do that, and so are these other people that are posting that shit.
What, that there's wars in Iraq right now? That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, but I see the stuff that you watch. You watch stuff that just, like, about, you know...
GMO humans?
Aliens coming and stuff like that, and flying humans. Like, actually, I thought that was pretty cool, but... all this stuff. You watch all that stuff. And I've watched that stuff too, just so I can get into your world a little bit, to try and get in with you a little bit more. But it's like I slapped my forehead the whole time because I don't understand that.
And when people don't understand things, they fear it, and then they don't like it. And
I absolutely do not fear. If an alien came through here right now, I would be like, take me to your leader.
Aliens is not even the issue. I'm not even
I know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But I'm just saying that stuff like that. I mean, there's parallels in what we're doing here, but we don't know which one is right. I just explained the parallels.
Okay.
Do you understand or no?
I do. I understand what you're saying. Sure.
You have more to add? Of course you do. Go ahead.
Yes and no. I have.
See, you're not just talking to me anymore, so.
I have no more to add, and I have everything to add.
So add.
Um.
Or do you want to end the video here and let everybody else decide?
I don't know. I don't know where the argument is supposed to go. Are you supposed to prove me wrong? Am I supposed to prove you wrong? I don't know.
We can't prove anybody wrong. You don't prove anybody wrong in this. This is the whole, like, it's It's a never-ending debate, basically. It's really a never-ending debate.
Here's the thing: is that okay?
This kind of stuff is a never-ending
Sports and
debate.
stuff like that is an American freedom that is a nice thing that we're actually able to sit back in our country and actually not worry and watch sports. That is actually a freedom and a good thing that we are actually able to do that. The problem has become is that it's become it's become a problem is what the problem is, because that's all people do. They don't have a balance between knowing what's really going on and being able to just relax and enjoying sports. They don't know how to do that. And it's important for every American, and it's your right to know everything that's going on with your military, with our tax dollars that are paying military to do what they need to do. It's your right to find out every single thing that's going on. But nobody wants to because they're worried about what Bo Jackson is doing. And what he's doing now, or whatever he's not doing anymore, or what they're busy, and then that doesn't do anything. That doesn't get anybody anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere from there. It just gets people into fights. Oh, I don't like that team, and they fight about it. It just separates people. It makes people dislike each other. Well, I mean, I heard that if people who like Raiders go into another city of another football team, they'll get beat up. That's ridiculous when there's so much around the world that's going on that's important, that has substance that'll directly affect us. And they're worried about team. And these guys are just playing you guys like puppets and loving it because they're getting paid millions for it, for playing you guys.
Who is playing us?
All the owners. All the owners.
You think Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders, the rebel that he was, there's no effing way.
Go knock at his door and tell him that your family needs help.
He's dead.
Go knock.
What did the Raiders do for us last year? What are the Raiders doing for us this year?
I'm talking about real things.
They're not doing stuff for us?
Real things. If you had a broken leg, you think you can knock at his door and say, I don't have any money to pay this. Can you help me out? I'm a Raiders fan. You think?
I would say some owners would just to get that media attention that they help somebody. I would say I agree with you there. And you had made a point earlier, and I forgot what it was. Watching the video back, I'll remember. But I agree with you on whatever point you made there. It makes sense. I know I was thinking about it while you were talking, and it makes complete sense. I just can't remember what it was, unfortunately.
There's just no balance anymore. People take advantage of their freedoms by just obsessing over all the bright lights. We're like moths to a light. You just keep going to it, and they know that, and they keep that light on so that you keep going to it. There's so many more important things that are going on that people really need to get involved with, and the more obsessed people get with sports, and the more the veil is covering more people, the worse things on the outside are going to get, because nobody's standing up and fighting anymore. Well, nobody's doing anything. They're all just sitting back, eating, getting lazy, watching these guys run around and talking nonsense after. That's all that happens. They wake up the next day, the same thing. Next day, the same thing. Life is passing. Things are happening. People are getting more and more deceived.
So you think sports is basically
It's become
basically the veil over our eyes.
Yeah. They're pulling the wool over our eyes with sports. Absolutely. And not just sports. That's just the topic for right now. It's with everything that comes out of that box right there. Everything.
So TV in general does that.
Yeah.
Married with Children and all that stuff. Just saying. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I'm going back to the 90s. Give me a break. All right, so that's our topic for today. For the record, scooch your butt over here. For the record, we disagree like this all the time. Like, it's not going to cause problems between us. I mean, we always forever disagree. So we just figured now we'd get it out and share it with you guys, and we'll look back on it in 20 years from now, in 2034, and see where we agree with and what we do. So that being said, I love you. You mad at me?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, wait till that gets shut off.
Why? Okay. Come here, baby. All right. Subscribe. Maybe I'll show my tits.